trade area means to the Democratic Republic of Congo, sir?
Merci, Madame.
Thank you, Madam. Just as the previous speakers, I would like to first and foremost thank President Obiang Nguema Mbasogo for the warm welcome extended to us. I also wish to congratulate the President of the African Development Bank, Mr. Adesina. I must say that I have great admiration for this gentleman, and whenever I exchange views with him, I discover the opportunities that the African Development Bank can offer us. So I would like to seize this opportunity to plead in favor of a general capital increase of the bank so as to enable the bank to further promote and growth and development in Africa. As for us in the Democratic Republic of Congo, we fully subscribe to the ideal of regional integration in Africa because we are convinced that it is key to the development of our continent. 18% for intra-Africa trade is, in my view, a very low figure, which means that there is much room for us to improve, not only to the benefit of our economies, but also in terms of human development. And this can be achieved through the building of infrastructure, but there is also a significant potential in my country, which is the energy potential and capacity. And I do believe that we are focusing on other projects, whereas my country, through the formidable Inga site, can provide energy to the whole of Africa. Economic growth also needs to be achieved through industrialization, but for industrialization to become a reality, we need to have power available. And if the Inga site were to be developed to its full capacity, it could be the solution to the energy gap in Africa. And as regards industrialization, we also need to look at one other aspect, which is economic diversification. And this would be possible. The Democratic Republic of Congo was, in fact, a victim of its vast endowment. It might be a contradiction in terms, but the enormous mineral wealth that we have is somewhat a curse. And we believe that the diversification of the economy will help us provide jobs to our population, to our youth, and will also help open our economy. And of course, in order to achieve all of this, we need to have a conducive security environment. In order to be able to develop, Africa has to be in peace. And as President Obiang Nguema has underscored, significant efforts were made in this country, which is a true economic miracle, because a lot has been done for peace to become a reality. If we're not able to face up to the challenge of peace in Africa, then our dreams will remain just that, dreams. So we should first try to do away with all these useless and stupid conflicts that we have throughout the continent, be they tribal in nature or due to any other reason. And let us make sure that this free trade area will help Africans work hand in hand in the spirit of our founding fathers and those who were the origin of our independence in Africa. If we hold each other's hand, if we make this free trade area a reality, I am convinced that we will provide a better future to our populations.
Back to Southern Africa and bring the voice into the conversation of the Kingdom of to help with the Africa integration strategy.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you very much. We have engaged an experimental implementation of a project with regard to the diaspora, the Congolese diaspora, who are dual nationals, so we therefore did adopt a measure that would enable them to obtain a visa, not from their country of residence, but rather at the airport upon landing in Kinshasa or any other border point or point of entry. The goal of this measure, or the purpose of this operation, which would be extended at a later time to all African nationals, because we do think that we have to do away with such barriers, be they customs or immigration related, so as to enable the free movement of goods and persons. So the objective we are pursuing would be to promote within our program, to promote and champion human values, particularly for Congolese nationals, and therefore it would be all Africans that would be enjoying a promoted status through either trade or cultural exchanges. I do believe that in order to succeed in facing this challenge and to attain this objective, African countries need to get organized in such a way that sub-regional communities manage to phase out such barriers. I don't believe that it can be done directly at a continental level. However, thanks to our sub-regions, for example, SADC, CESE, ECOWAS, and so on, we'll be able to organize this type of fluidity, which would be gradually broadened to the entire continent. And this is how we would succeed in connecting such sub-regions one with the other, and finally, by the end of the day, the entire African continent.
You do so in 12 months to further the Africa integration strategy.
To overcome this issue of insecurity that we see in all the continent. Secondly, I think we need to reach our economic objective. I think we need to, of course, fall away. To fall away all these barriers, which in fact do impede the free exchange of goods and services. And then it's the cultural objective also that we need to attain. I think we need to inculcate new values amongst our populations, values such as the fight against corruption, the fight, for example, against issues like ethnicity and tribal. We need to promote women, because women are an essential component, of course, in all economic exchanges. They are an essential vector. and certainly towards the success of economical exchanges and, of course, education. Access to education is a fundamental factor because it is thanks to this education.
His Majesty now, we've got 1 minute 22 on the clock. We will be losing satellite time in 1 minute 22. Your Majesty.
Well, I can only answer your question from the platform from which I occupy. And this would be a platform which would...
And government for the photograph. Thank you very much.